Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you beautiful people are in this world. I am at peace with the world. The world is beautiful, the sun is shining, it's the Christmas has come early, everything is right with the world. Um, Spurs for Manchester City 0, like a giant egg. And there's an egg on their face. There's an egg on Pep Guardiola's bald head. It's just the most beautiful feeling on the planet. And as usual, I have, well, not as usual, but I have with me Jose to celebrate this beautiful and share this beautiful, beautiful feeling with Jose. How are you feeling?
I'm I'm really, really good. Yeah, woke up this morning again with another spring in my step, which is always good. It's blowing a wind here at the moment, but I think that wind that I've got here at the moment down on the coast is reverberating from Manchester. It's just still the shock waves are still coming down to the coast where I am. But yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm ready to get into this today. Um, Obviously, it goes without saying, it's one of the good days to do a stream in and if it's about Tottenham, today's a really good day.
Yeah, today, I mean, honestly, today is one of the best days. I can't remember, like, even when we've beaten City and we've beaten City a lot, I can't remember such a convincing win against City. They didn't even get on the score sheet. Like, that's just, to me, the clean sheet is like half the happiness. Um, but yeah, before we get into it with the game, I do feel like I should say hi to everyone who's here. Leo's not here, but he still said much love, ladies. Yes, the ladies, me and Josefina. And then
It's all
as
appreciated.
usual, Jose is reminding us to smash a like and subscribe, all of the good things, because Manchester is all white. Yes, you heard it, folks. Manchester is not red. It is not blue. It is all lily white. Like Christmas came early and the snow is coming down. It's snowing in Manchester. Manchester is all white. And Karu's here saying, "What a game! What a game!" I feel you, Dekaru. I'm right there with you. And Dekaru is also saying Queen Ellie is looking a bit rough around the edges. um, and then Riquetti says, "Hi Ash, ¿cómo estás?" Well, I don't speak Spanish like Jose, but
She's
I am
asking
doing
how you
fine.
are.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
understood. That's which is why I said I'm doing fine. Ronnie's saying, Jose, what a win. Let's hope we can keep this up and go on a run. Yeah, you and me both, Ronnie. Like, I'll get to it in a second, but I really needed that. I really needed a big resounding victory like that. Spurs GCTV is here saying, "Good morning, Ash and Jose. Isn't football a beautiful thing?" Yeah, I mean, it is so beautiful. Like to come back from international break when players are tired and then to put up a performance like that, it is a beautiful thing. And then Ronnie's saying Manchester nil, Tottenham 7. Honestly, if it wasn't for Edison and a few other blocks, who knows? um, uh, and then Vindaloo's here saying, "I knew you would win. People thought I was crazy. I had you winning 3-2, but got influenced by chat and changed it at least last minute on Jose's game. But thank God I stuck it on Bet 365. Hey, uh, as long I don't even begrudge an Arsenal fan getting money out of it. If we won like this." And then Rinketic is here saying Turbo Timo is the best winger in the league. You know, a crazy stat I saw, it was on Twitter, everywhere on Twitter, is that Timo Werner has more goals and assists than Phil Foden. That to me is mad. That is mad. And then still calls here saying, "Is VDV and Romero's place in danger after Dravi?" So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, so, Jose, to begin with, what did you think of our performance yesterday?
Can I take it back? Let me roll back to Friday first of all. I did the prediction
Yeah.
show on Friday, and I said on the prediction show, whatever happens, we're going to Manchester. Nobody likes going to Manchester to play Manchester City. You know, they are on a big run of form at home, but I can never ever go against my team. Never.
Yeah.
So I went for a 2-1 win because I could never go for a loss. And I made people change their minds from my motive. They called it a motivational speech, and I made people change their minds. So Vindaloo changed his mind. He had Manchester City winning, changed his result. Daniel Coyes had Manchester City to win 3-1 and then changed his result as well to Tottenham to win 2-1 after the motivational speech. So I'm glad that my motivational speech went down well with a lot of people on Friday. Yesterday, what did I think? I think yesterday we played on the edge. So yesterday we played exactly the way that Ange set us up to play. We took risks yesterday, and the risks paid off yesterday. Um, Vicario had a really good game in goal. He made some really important saves for us
Yeah.
yesterday.
So we'll get to that. I kind of want to
Oh,
go through the entire team and do flowers for everybody.
okay, sorry, because you asked me what I thought of the game, so that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they played a lot of risk taking yesterday from Tottenham. Um, I did the pump up show on We Are Tottenham TV with Kate, Jim, and Jacob, and I
Oh, wow.
said,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I do the pump up show on there on the We Are Tottenham TV. But anyway, I turned around and I said before the game, when I saw the lineups, I felt that Tottenham they dropped Brennan Johnson because out of possession would go into a 4-5-1, and that Hulu would could be on the right, Sonny on the left. And the reason why them two were there is because they would defend more than what Johnson does, and bringing in Madison would give you that extra bit in midfield. I turned around and this is all before the game. I turned around and said that with the midfield that Manchester City have got. They lost a pivot in Rodri. The second pivot would have been Kovacic. He's gone as well. And I said that I watched Gundogan play pre-international break in the pivot role, and he didn't look good at all. And yesterday they either were going to play him or Rico Lewis, one pivot or double pivot. And I felt that our midfield would have the legs on Manchester City. And I said before the game, I felt that the game gets won from the midfield battle. And if we could overrun them in midfield with our legs, then we could end up getting a really good result there. And this was all said before the game started. So what I called out actually, but I never would have called out 4-0. But what I called out is that we had a strong chance of winning.
Yeah, I gotta say hi to a bunch of people, but I will get to that point. Uh, so Finn's here saying, big up Jose and Ash. What a win. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely.
Morning,
I
Finn.
mean, even Ange in the press conference couldn't believe that he won so resoundingly. Ian's here saying, Ian, it's been a while. Saying morning, Ash, morning, Jose, morning, all in chat. Morning to you, Ian. And then Spurs GCTV saying hi to Ian. And then Finn saying, I predicted 4-1 to Man City. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. My head and my heart were in two different places. Like my head was saying that City would win, but my heart was like it would be so like Spurs to lose to Ipswich and then beat Man City. So like my heart was saying Spurs would win, and my head was saying City would win. And I'm so happy my heart won out because we really needed that win just to curb the like there was so much like useless pressure building up for no reason, and we brought it on ourselves. So I just felt like we needed this a win against a big team resoundingly to push on. So I'm so happy that we did that. Destiny 5 is here saying morning, so proud of the lads. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely. Proud, proud, proud. And Ian saying, never been happier to be hopelessly wrong on my prediction. Yeah, you and me both, Ian. Balu's here saying big up Jose and Ash. I predicted 3-0 Spurs. See, this is how you gotta be. True believer. Not be like Jose and Balu, not like Ash. Uh, and then Vindaloo's here saying is saying hi to everyone. Leo's come back. He's saying big up chat, massive hug to Ash, massive hug back to Leo. Jose, could you read that out properly?
It says big up chat, massive hug to Ash, and abrazos ese Jose, increíble. So he said it's incredible, and the
Yeah,
reason
it
why
is
he's probably
absolutely incredible.
the reason why he's probably
And then
woken back up. Sorry, Ash. The reason why he's probably woken back up because it must be at least 4:41 in the morning, at least, if not earlier for Leo. But I bet that with the game yesterday, he's still on
yeah,
cloud nine as well, like the rest of us. So well
yeah,
done,
I
you Leo,
haven't
for being
slept.
up.
Like, I literally, like, I was up all night listening to Man City fan tears and like meltdowns. And then I tried to sleep for an hour, and then I was just like, nah, I'm too pumped. I just got to continue on this YouTube binge that I'm on. Um, Ian saying sound and disc holding made a massive difference. So this is what Jose was indicating, I think, with the energy. Like City looked tired against us, and that physicality came from the midfield. Like I think that I even saw Madison pull in a few tackles. I saw at least one decent tackle that Madison pulled in the second half, and I was just like, everybody's on it today. Like everybody has decided that they're gonna win this game, and they're gonna win the second ball, and they're gonna win every consecutive ball after that. And when City was coming at us, it was our energy that got us across the line. Um, Also, we have a special guest with us today. The youngest man ever, youngest looking old man on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Chang. Chang, how you doing?
A very, very good Sunday morning to everyone who's tuning in from UK and Europe, and a very special happy Sunday afternoon to you, Miss Pat Maraj. I'm doing also very well. I have to apologize though for being somewhat late for this 10:30 a.m. stream because I just got back from dinner with the family, but better late than never. And what can I say? The last 12 hours have been unbelievable. I was a bit gutted, to be very honest with you, when I missed out. I sadly am ashamed and embarrassed for missing out on the first half that kicked off at 1:30 a.m. On a Sunday morning here in Southeast Asia. I woke up 2:30, and you could not have imagined the surprise and the astonishment I got when I turned on my application to see the live score just before I turned on the second half, to see us leading by 2-0 at halftime and not having conceded. I was just thinking, oh no, this is going to be Brighton and Hove Albion away all over again. They are going to come back straight after the kickoff at halftime. They are going to get an early goal. It's going to be, Brighton away all over again. But it didn't happen. And not only did it not happen, we did the exact opposite. We went against the grain. We tore up the script. We got that much needed and much deserved third goal. Dominic Slanky and Son Heung-min creating for Pedro Porro to just nonchalantly notch up our third. And from there on, the result was never in doubt. And the icing on the cake, Brennan Johnson getting our fourth, and Vicario as well getting a clean sheet was just magnificent. I could not have envisioned a better way to kick off this Sunday, and I cannot wait to get through the rest of the show with you, Miss Ash, and also Senor Garcia.
Yeah, hang on, Chang. It's gonna be a wonderful show because we won. And Riketti say, what's QA?
Did Solanke get
Did
a?
Solanke get QA yesterday?
I don't know if you can tell us what the QA is, please, Riketic. We'll
I think it's
answer
a
it for
question
you.
and answer.
Is it
Q&A. I
GA
think it means
by any chance?
Q&A. Is it Q&A, question and answer?
That's what it normally is, but I don't know what it refers to.
Anyway, but Balu saying Solanke had an assist for the Poro goal. Okay, so it is GA. And then Rinketic saying, "Oh shit, Jose, I did not sub. That's terrible."
No worries. Yeah, he has now, but that's no worries at all.
And Anita's here saying, good morning, Ash and Jose. Good morning to all of the chat. It's a boom for me. Tottenham till I die. My heart melted when Poro scored. The team was top draw. Absolutely. And Tigaro's here saying, I've never been so happy to be wrong about my prediction. Yeah, you and me both, Tigaro. You and me both. And then Marcos is here saying, I had faith in Tottenham yesterday. The other day on your show, most of them were saying Tottenham lost, but me always have faith. Don't matter what team we play. Yeah. And then Marcus is saying, I hope you're both well. We are well. Hopefully, Chang is well as well. And the sheriff is here saying, good morning, all. Last night means nothing if we don't go on a run of positive results. Yeah, Mark. We know. Everybody knows Tottenham's not consistent, and consistency is important, and the table and all of that, yada. We do that tomorrow. Today we just do the happy dance. And then Leo's here saying, my homies, it's 3:42 here. You're right. Unfortunately, our little baby London isn't feeling good. So we're up at all hours. Oh no. I hope she feels better. Yeah, my nephew's like that as well. He's going through a phase. So I get it. And then Dekar was saying I wasn't going to watch the game, but Jess' stream was entertaining, so I sat up. So glad I did. Paying for it now. Been tired all day. Hey, it's Sunday. That's the point of Sundays. And then Daniel's here saying, good morning, La Familia. One love. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, come on, Spurs to you too, Daniel. And then everyone's saying hi to each other. Everyone's saying hi to Chang. And then Johnny's saying flowers for Ash. Oh, thank you. And weirdly, nobody gives me flowers. It's really sad. I should get more flowers from people. And then Mark saying, is it time to talk about fishing yet? Always, Mark. On this channel, always. And since I don't know anything about fishing, Jose will respond to all your queries. And then Vin Velusia saying, I read the game differently. The injuries did help for me, but it's not about how good a player is on the pitch. If a player can play the manager system, the balance was perfect. I just knew it. Yeah, but the thing is, everybody had injuries. We had injuries. They had injuries. I don't think that it was there's this whole thing on like the big news channels where they're like, oh, City had injuries and Rodri was out, and I'm just like, please extend the same understanding to Spurs then. But yeah, it is GA, not QA.
Can I just say that when they've gone out and won the rest of their games this season, no one has complained about Rodri being out.
Yeah.
So Manchester City have been winning their games, have been going in their own merry way. They've got the results they've got so far this season. No one has ever mentioned Rodri being out because Rodri was out, and everyone knows that Rodri's out for the season. Manchester City has the strongest squad in not only here in England, but probably the strongest squad of a football team in Europe or worldwide. And the fact that Tottenham have now played them twice inside 3 weeks, we've beaten their A, B, and C team. There are no excuses. There are no excuses whatsoever. You have to play what's put in front of you. Pep Guardiola, we all praise him as a master tactician and innovator of sorts. He put out a team yesterday to do a number on Tottenham. They didn't do it. So we need to start. I understand what Mark's saying, but today, as Tottenham Hotspur fans and supporters, we need to enjoy that victory. I will say to you guys, when was the last time that Tottenham put in a complete performance that you were really happy about, that was noticeable? And I can't remember the last time Tottenham played and put in such a complete performance. So, when they come along, we've got to rejoice. We worry about the next game tomorrow, but today, let's look at yesterday's game.
Yeah, let's do that. Why? That's the best idea I've heard all day. And then Chris is here saying, hi, Ash, Jose, Chang. Hi to you, Chris. And then Dekar saying, I love the look of utter confusion of the City defenders after every goal. They were just like looking around asking, what just happened? They're just like, I didn't do it. And then David's here saying, where are the medals? And then everyone's saying hi to David. And Rick Getty saying, I think Liverpool has a stronger team. I mean, yeah, for sure. They definitely have. They're at the top of the table, so that says everything. Destiny's here saying Kulusevski is a beast. My God, we will get to Kulusevski. I have so many Kulusevski flowers. And then Johnny's here. Johnny's talking to David. And then Balu is saying Arsenal is a coward team. They celebrated the draw and bottled the lead. Shameless bottlers. Yeah, this is also what like really impressed me, which is that we were brave. Any other manager, when your midfielder gets carded in the first 20 seconds of the game, any other manager would have been risk averse and taken him off in the 60th minute, right? But for us, we were like, we need this energy in the midfield. We need Sar and Bissouma to win those second balls and to provide that energy. And he played him through, like he did not substitute him. And I think that like to me, that's just an ethos. That's something you have to build over time. And that's what I liked about yesterday's performance. Is that um yes, we were on the cosh a lot, like under the cosh a lot, but if you think about it, anybody who goes to City will have the chances. City, that's the way City are. Like they will have lots and lots of chances. The point is whether you can play through their midfield and create your own chances enough to get on the score sheet and to hold your uh, you know goal difference. And then Alex is here saying, "Get me on." I'm sorry, Alex. I don't think I have your contact details. And then Dekaru's here saying, "I love all the people out there renaming city's ground the Decky Hat." I am totally calling it the Decky Hat from now on. It is totally the Decky Hat. I love Dejan Kulusevski so much. I have so much to say about Dejan Kulusevski. I love that boy to bits. He's 24 years old. He's a beast. He is going to be amazing. I know he has detractors, but I have great hope in this player. And then when Lucia saying that's your best back line playing that high ball off, they cut off the space and it's helped Matters and Kulu do their thing. Matters was unplayable, but Kulu, if he scored, man of the match for me. Yeah, absolutely. And Alex is saying this is where we going wrong. um yeah, Alex, I know the arguments, okay, and we can have them. Like it's a fruitful discussion to have, and I believe it's important for fans to support the club however they want to. But today is just not, like, I feel like maybe we can put a pin on the discussion for tomorrow, because it's not going to change if we have the discussion tomorrow instead of today. Not that I don't want to have it. I think it's a very constructive debate to have. I just don't think today's the day to have it. Ian saying, "Watch the first goal again, peeps. Look at Poro's run outside to take the fullback out and give Decky the space to find Matters and assist without touching the ball." Absolutely. Um, and then John saying, "Get box office on Jose." So uh, you know, maybe we'll have another show and we'll call Alex on and we'll do this properly. I feel like there's a lot to like get through also. And I'm new to this, so I find it hard to handle a lot of guests. David saying 10% of the fan base still melts. Listen, I don't want Anginers. Stop this. Today is not a day for Ange in and Ange out and who won and who owned and who debated. I just let's just enjoy it. It's a wonderful day. The sun is out. It's snowing in Manchester. It's white over there. Rinkedik saying, "I don't like Ange, but fair play. He made a change at like minute 15. Did he? Um, yeah, everyone's talking to each other. Um, the word wrong is not the word for today. Happy vibes, yes. Today we can be vibes FC. Tomorrow we will be serious and constructive and productive. Today we will be vibes FC. It's fine. The Destiny 5, the yellow to Bissouma was betting corruption from the ref. Lol. You know what? It wasn't like fine. I understand why he gave the yellow, but it was like a woke yellow to me because I was just like, it's 20 seconds into the game. How can you be handing out cards? But it is what it is. And everyone be kind to each other in the chat. I think it's important to be respectful, and everyone can have their opinions and everyone can support the club however they want to. And I'm critical of the club often myself, so I don't want to be that person who is hateful to anyone. Paul saying, "Good morning, all. What a result! What a weekend! Come on, you Spurs." Okay, um, we will. There's a bunch of more comments. They're coming fast and furious. I'm just going to get down to the game. Let's start from the team news. Jose, were you surprised at the fact that he dropped Johnson and put Madison back in the midfield, put Decky out on the right?
As I said, when I was on the We Are Tottenham TV pump up. When I saw the lineup, to me, I said straight away, the reason why he's done it is because in defence or when defending, we'll set up as a 4-5-1 shape. And Sonny and Kulu putting him out on the right would backtrack, where Johnson doesn't tend to backtrack as much. And when he does, he's not as defensively astute as probably Kulu is playing in that position. So therefore, I felt that he picked the side for when we had to defend, because when you go to the Etihad, regardless of the scoreline's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but when you go to the Etihad, you've got to defend. Yesterday wasn't just about Tottenham's attacking. Tottenham had to put in an all-round effort yesterday, and I felt that the reason why he was dropped was so we could go into that 4-4-5-1 shape, and that's what I called before the game. And then also by doing that, you load up the midfield, and we could overload the midfield as well in defensive actions for when we were preparing attacks, because I felt that we would have the legs in that midfield. And as I said earlier, I called it on World Tottenham TV. I said the game gets won in midfield if we overrun Gundogan and Lewis in the midfield, because Man City don't normally play with two pivots; they play with one, and then they let the other two wander. And I wasn't too sure who was going to be pivoting for them yesterday. And to be honest, watching the game yesterday, I'm not sure they knew who was the pivot either, because Rico Lewis seemed to be getting pulled out of position. Gundogan was getting pulled out of position, and I don't know whether I don't know whether they knew who was meant to be the holding player for them. The other player, Stones. Stones only played the 45 minutes, but Stones, because he was occupied with Solanke all the time, Stones wasn't going up the pitch and gallivanting like he normally does. So, at the end of the day, he called it right. Ange made the right decision, and it was more for our defensive attributes than our attacking attributes. I'd say that he dropped Johnson.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And we forced City to go wide. They only had the wings to go from, because we'd sort of overloaded the midfield and there was no way they could play through our midfield. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Chang, what did you think? Did you think team selection, were you surprised that Madison was starting? Chang, you're on mute, I think. Or no, still can't hear you.
How about now?
Okay.
How about now? Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Okay, so with regards to the team selection, I think everything that Jose has said so far about Johnson getting dropped and Madison starting was a bit of a surprise to me as well. I did see that starting lineup at midnight, an hour before kickoff, but sadly I wasn't able to follow up by staying up to see the start of that first half. And you can imagine my surprise really when Madison was on the score sheet not once but twice when I woke up to look at the live score on my tablet. So I think it was a brilliant masterstroke, because Big Ange isn't the kind of manager who would willy-nilly just drop his leadership team or even his leadership players, or even any player too for that matter. So to see Johnson getting dropped, despite Johnson having a very, very promising and good international mini break with Wales, was a bit of a surprise. But this is why I think fans, pundits, even the media themselves, they have to start giving Big Ange credit for his tactical nuance, especially when he knew what City were going to try and do, how they were going to set up and try and pressure that midfield, and having Madison and Kulu and also Bissouma, having Bissouma there, that was something that I don't think Pep himself would have expected. I think Pep would have expected Maddison to be on the bench, and that worked a treat. And the 2 goals by Maddison, I think, was kind on City, because we easily could have scored more than 2. But in the same sort of argument, City themselves could have scored a couple before we opened the scoring, but that's how the game goes. I mean, if they don't put away the chances the way we didn't put away ours against Ipswich at home, you get punished. And for us to come away with a clean sheet, I think it's just the icing on the cake. And this is what I also said about Maddison. What I said about Maddison after the United win, after the Villa win, after the West Ham win, he needs consistency. He needs to be able to put up, or rather string together, a run of performances that will give Thomas Tuchel food for thought when he reanalyzes the England squad for next calendar year. And if James Maddison can, keep up with this level of performance week in, week out for Spurs, whether it's in the league or in Europe, it would be big. It would be a big ask of him to break back into that England squad. But as long as he's doing what he's doing, fingers crossed, he will put in a much better performance, a much better second half performance for us in the second half of this season. And here's to him getting back into the England squad as well.
I don't care about the England squad. Let him play for Spurs. Sorry to all you English people out there. And then we have Phil P saying, woo! Woo to Phil P, and party time today. Absolutely. And Alex, I promise I will get in touch. I'll bring you on at some point, some other day. We only have a limited amount of time today. Marcos is saying, today we enjoy the day. Tomorrow we think about Roma. Bring on the other Manchester team in December. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then Dekaru's here saying, let's just enjoy our football. There's a lot to enjoy here. Wayne Bonner saying, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. Welcome to the morning after the night. Kulu gets my man of the match. Yeah, my God, what a beast. And yeah, Ricketty's agreeing with you. Tactically, he made us more compact after like age 15. And then who's doing that? Ian saying, I have a shower, then off to see my grandkids play. Yeah, have a good time, Ian. I hope your grandkids are doing well. Yeah. Windlu saying, I just want to know one thing: is the quad back on? Oh, Vindaloo. I love. You know what? Like, obviously that the quad thing is just a joke, but like it's fun to say it, isn't it? Bill is here saying we defended from the front, attacked from the back. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed, 100%. And then Mark is saying we look better when we sit in and play on the break, a la Conte style. Absolutely. And then Destiny is saying empty had. Who's doing that? Empty had the stadium after that third went in. Yeah, my God, it was a library. My God, the decking had, don't you forget it. Kels is here saying, hi everyone. Yesterday's game was the best first performance in a long time. I agree, Kels. For me, it was one of the biggest wins we've ever had. Like beating Man City, keeping a clean sheet. Oh my God, 4-0. That is amazing. And then win-lose, talking to everyone else. Win-lose saying you took the piss out of City's midfield. You kept them guessing all the time. And then Kate or Jim, one of them is here saying, big up everyone. And come on, you Spurs. Absolutely. Kate, I saw you on Chris Cowlin. What a great appearance. Rapping really well. If it's Kate. If it's Jim, then I didn't see you on Chris Cowlin. Dekaru saying Ben Davies aging like fine wine. Love it. You know, Dekaru, he's training to be a manager. I think he's going to be a brilliant manager. He understands the game. And Chris Leone saying Evening All Ash hasn't done anything different. He wants the players turned up. Simple. And then saying hi to someone. And then Paul saying Davies was brilliant. We never let the credit get to him. A good professional. Absolutely. I love Ben Davies.
I'm skipping.
You know, there's a joke here. Yes.
Sorry, I'm skipping the comments where people are talking to each other, Ash.
Oh,
So I'm
right.
skipping the comments where people are talking to each other, so you can catch up with the chats. All right, that's me.
Davies is saying Davies was brilliant. Yeah, there's a KDL and a JDL. I want to start a Davies DL or DDL because Loki want to defend Davies. He's such a I love him. Really. And then Colin is here. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you're having a lovely day, Colin. And then the perfect match. I'm just going to say KJ because it's either Kate or Jim. Is saying so many fantastic performances. Yesterday, Vicario arguably had his best 90-minute performance for us. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's start with that. Let's start. Paul G saying Neville live on air, so he wanted to give man of the match to Kulu and Madison, but swung to Matters due to it being his birthday. That's hilarious. But well deserved anyway. Whichever way it would have gone would have been the right decision. So Jose, let's start with that, right? Let's go player by player. Vicario. How did you feel about Vicario's performance yesterday?
Yesterday he shot stopping. He made some really, really important saves. His shot stopping was superb. I don't think he made one mistake with the ball at his feet yesterday. Under pressure, he seemed to find the right pass. I think he kicked it out long twice that I remember. Other than that, it was always short passes. And quite often the short passes were going out to Ben Davies. He was playing out to the left rather than to the right. And then also as well with the corners and crosses, he came out, he commanded, he caught the ball, and he commanded his box. Yesterday, Kate said it as well. Yesterday, for me, was a complete goalkeeping performance. Now Chang, I think, he's played goalkeeper, so Chang might be better to explain the intricacies of goalkeeping. But from the goalkeepers that I've ever played with or ever watched, I think yesterday was a complete performance by Vicario, which would have exuded confidence to the rest of the team, the defenders, the midfield and attack, knowing that your keeper is making the right decisions with his passes, knowing that he's coming out commanding his box, and that can only give energy and buzz more to the team, because they won't drop that further 5 yards thinking, oh my God, and you're chewing your fingernail. So he did really, really well yesterday. And if we're gonna go for every player, aren't we, Ash? Okay,
Because there
I'll
were
say no more.
bad players.
I'll say no.
And then,
I'll say no more. I'll leave it at that.
yeah. And then Chang, what did you think of Vicario?
I thought I'm just going to say one thing very quickly about Vicario, because he was coming under a lot of fire and getting a lot of stick from the Italian fans because of his own goal and the 3-1 loss that Italy suffered at the hands of France in midweek. So to see Vicario bouncing back from that own goal and the embarrassing defeat to France by getting a clean sheet at the empty head was, I think, the perfect response for him. And if you actually go through the BBC's Match of the Day highlights, he did make a couple of very crucial saves to keep us level before we opened the scoring. And I think there was also another chance. I can't remember who it was. Was it Foden or the other young Portuguese who had an offside chance that he tipped brilliantly? It was offside, but the save was top draw from Vicario in that first half. And that was that second half itself, whatever set pieces, whatever corners, free kicks, whatever that they could throw at him, he was just imperious. He was winning duels, he was catching balls, his distribution too was on points, and that in itself, I thought, gave both Ben Davies and Dragushin a lot of much needed confidence, because we are missing our preferred centre-back partnership of Van der Ven and Romero. So that's correct. I think, thank you, Miss Kate or Mr. Boxer. It was Savinho. Yes, it was Savinho's chance that was ruled offside, but the save from Vicario was top drawer. And let's just hope that, just like what I said about Madison, I just really hope that Vicario keeps on this run of form. It's one thing to be playing very well and getting a clean sheet against City at the Decky Head, but to then concede against teams that have yet to win a single competitive match all season. At home is a completely different thing. So fingers crossed as well. Fingers crossed that
Yeah,
Vicario
absolutely. Fingers
will be
crossed.
able to
It's
get it.
always like that with Spurs a little bit. We're used to that. And then SPC gave up on England many years ago. Oh, well, I'm not English, so you and me both, I suppose. And then Marcus is saying Jose should be on Sky Sports. The footballing knowledge he has, and especially on Tottenham, is unbelievable. Yeah, get Jose on Sky Sports. Why not? Maybe then he can quit his day job and just talk about football all day long. Descartes here saying, I saw a comment elsewhere that said Spurs would be the only team in the league that would improve their chances of winning the title if they could play City every week. Yeah, if we could play City every week, we would be so up there. And if you're happy and you know, clap your hands. Or if you're happy and you know, say Lineker out. Linker out? Is it? Are you saying Gary Lineker? I don't know what that's about. Anyway, yesterday is why we need players who can come in and do the job. Davies, yeah, absolutely. What of Chad? And then Destiny's like, I love how Vicario celebrates saves. Love it, love it. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. Yeah, bye, David. And Destiny's just saying shrimp on the barbie. Okay. And then Dekaro saying, did Chang just call the city ground the empty hat? I hope that I hadn't misheard. That was a 5-star comment. Yeah, it's the empty hat, it's the decky hat, it's everything but the Etihad. And then Kate saying, it's Kate. So now we know. And Vidlu saying, it's shame my Sunday mornings are normally taking the piss out of everyone. Doesn't feel right. Yeah. Don't rain on our parade. Didn't realize that when he was playing yesterday, was Haaland injured, so I didn't see him on the pitch. Yeah, no, he was there. He was just in Ben Davies's back pocket. That's why you couldn't spot him. And then Kamolika is here. Hi, Kamolika. And then Win losing. I really hope Liverpool lose later. Yeah, make the league interesting, make it fun. So Marcus is saying would love to take Ash to the lane one day. Yeah, listen, if anyone gives me a free ticket, I'm up for it. Why not? And then Chris is saying refrain and bottle it up. Should hashtag Vindaloo. Yeah. Whatever. And then Kate is saying, boo, come on, Liverpool, Vindaloo. Yeah. I honestly, whether Liverpool win or lose, I don't believe Arsenal will win the league. Like, to me, it's like irrespective of everybody else's performance, just looking at Arsenal are not going to win the league. If Arsenal fans are under the impression that if other teams drop points, they can win the league. I'm sorry, you got something else coming. Anyway, let's do the back line together because I feel like it would take too much time to do it player by player. Jose, defense.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, okay. So yesterday, and for a while now, I'm going to revert back to what I said on the Pump Up show for Tottenham TV. For a while now, I've been a bit mystified with our fullbacks because for me, Pedro Porro gets in the dire triangle where he puts his hands behind his back and he's more worried about getting the triangle shape rather than stopping a cross from coming in. And Destiny Udogie, playing at left back, when he goes to make a tackle or an interception, he's doing it with his right foot, not his left foot.
Right.
And so he should be tackling with his left foot because they're attacking down the right and he's left footed. So his left foot should always be the tackling foot. And he's been doing it with his right foot. So people get goals against Tottenham because the crosses are allowed to go in because of what Destiny's doing with his right foot and because of the triangle shape that Porro's doing. However, I did say yesterday that with no Doku playing, I felt that with Savinho in the side and only having Savinho only one attacker that can go in and out, I felt that Manchester City would play horseshoe football, and it turned out they just played it in a horseshoe around our box when we were defending it, and they weren't really trying to go past us. So, and when they did, I felt that Udogie and Porro collectively as a two had a really good game yesterday and kept Man City quiet there. As for the centre halves, I called it yesterday, and I said that after the game. Sorry, I went on another podcast after the game yesterday, and I said what will be interesting is that Romero supposedly is fit or will be available for next week's game. And when they said next week, I'm presuming it's Fulham rather than Roma. And to me, I would have said, what Ange has a decision to make. If Romero goes back into the team, who does he partner Romero with? Dragusin, or do you partner him with Ben Davis, who's naturally left-footed? And with Ben Davis, Tottenham always play calmly. He's a calming influence on the team. There's no helter-skelter football at the back when Ben Davis is playing there. When Ben Davis plays, it seems to be calm football for me. And, you know, it remains to be seen what happens next week. But Ben Davis did really well. Positional sense and that, he played really, really well. Dragusin has still got lots to learn. He's got room for improvement and lots to learn. I think that he's still not comfortable carrying the ball at the moment. He's getting there bit by bit, slowly, but he's still not comfortable 100%. And it was highlighted in a ball that was played to him by the goalkeeper late in the second half, where he's come out with the ball. You could see he didn't know what to do with it. It's like a hot potato. He just wanted to get rid of that ball, and his pass was wayward and went out for a throw. He was meant to be going for Porro, and he played it so bad that he went out for a throw. So for him, there's still lots to learn. Yesterday he did well. I did say before the game started in the pump-up show that I felt that what he needed to do was, if he goes touch tight on a forward, Dragusin, he gets rolled and turned, right? And this is Premiership, it's not Italy. So I turned around and said that for Dragusin to get better, all he needs to do is give the striker a yard. So by giving
Yeah.
it a yard, he can look at the striker's body shape and he can look at where the ball is. So therefore, if the striker then turns around to go at him, he can put that tackle in, he can jockey him,
Yeah.
he can do whatever. But don't be touch tight. And yesterday he wasn't touch tight, and he looked the better player for it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with you
defensively, sorry,
100%.
defensively he
Like,
did. Defensively, they did well. Sorry, there you go.
yeah, they did really well. And I agree with you, like Dragusin does have a lot to improve on. But I appreciated the fact that he was forward thinking, Even that first goal, the pass to Kulu, it was slightly overshot just by a fraction. I mean, Kulu got there because of his immense like running ability, like just his constant, like ever ready battery running ability. But uh, it's just the idea that you're always thinking to like progress the ball, get it up the pitch. I appreciated that. I appreciated the fact that there was this one time I think a City player got the better of him. But apart from that, I did think that on the whole he wasn't as tight, and so he wasn't getting like more over. And I agree with you 100%. Chang, did you feel like so there's this question that people are asking, and I think it's a really funny question because it's like different games, different teams, right? But a lot of people are saying that actually Dragusin and Davies are up there as our first choice center back pairing. Do you think Romero's VDV for sure is class, but do you think Romero's place is in jeopardy at all?
Well, this is actually quite a very subjective question because there are a lot of factors, there are a lot of permutations, and you must also understand that different teams, especially the oppositions, when they set up differently against us and they have a different approach, then it does make that grading or that sort of like a decision making kind of skewed or even sometimes biased. But I think for the game against City, whatever Ben Davis and Dragusin did last night, I think it worked a treat. And if it was, say, Van der Ven and Romero, it might have been a lot different because of the way that they are so used to playing under Big Ange. You could even say that for Davis and Dragusin, they were somewhat forced. They were somewhat stymied and sort of like backed into a corner that you have to be on your best behavior. You cannot afford to even let slip even the slightest of chances, because if you do, the likes of Haaland and Savinho were going to pounce on it, and I think that's what happened. They just stuck to their task. They didn't try to be too clever to try and play it out the back. The same way, say, well, who was it? I think it was Gundogan. I think Gundogan is the one who gave away the ball so many times that we profited off it for the first 2 goals. And that is why I think on the day, yesterday especially, Davies and Dragoshin worked so well. But going forward, I think if I were Big Ange, the only possible combination, if Romero is still unavailable, would be to partner, say, Dragoshin with Van der Ven, or Romero with Dragoshin, seeing as how Ben Davies might be on his way out, assuming he doesn't get a extension. But this is something that Big Ange will have to work out pretty quickly, because we have Roma on Thursday. But this is good to see, whereby there is healthy competition. There is very good healthy competition amongst the squad members, and to make matters even better for us, Jet Spence, I think I have to give a very special shout out to Jet Spence. When he came on late in the second half as a full-time approach, I thought he put in a very professional performance when he came on, and I really do hope that Big Ange really rethinks, or rather he reconsiders having Jet Spence in our Europa League squad if we do make it through to the knockout phases.
I mean, that's a while away, because January, we can't change anything till Feb. But I gotta say hi to a bunch of people. Shantan's here saying good morning, Ash, handsome boss man Jose, and the youngest looking old man, the great Mr. Chang, the chimichanga of the Spurs community. Yeah, absolutely. Boss man Jose is right, and definitely the youngest man on YouTube. And Balu saying Arsenal fan. Yeah. Everyone's talking to each other. Chris Loney saying De Bruyne makes a hell of a difference. You know, actually, honestly, I did think they were slightly better with De Bruyne on, but to me, actually, Rodri is the bigger miss, in the sense that, you know, I feel this about Ange Ball. So, you know, when people say Ange is naive and Ange doesn't know the Premier League and stuff, you can see it with City. When there's a team that plays a high line and there's no barrier between the defense and like there's no cushion for the defense in the midfield, you look like you're cutting through butter, right? That's what we did to City yesterday. Every time we went forward, we looked dangerous, because when you're missing that cushion in the midfield, it's hard. And the second thing you need is legs on your defenders. And honestly, Kyle Walker looked a little bit tired, you know. So and you know, with Kulu's ball holding ability, Guardiola also looked like he was a little out of it. So and Kulu made him look like that. He's a good player. So like, to me, I think that when you're playing with a high line, when you play that style, you need these two things. You need legs on your defenders, and you need a buffer in midfield. And that's both those things City was missing. And you know, when people say I'm just naive and all, it's just that he hasn't completed that midfield set. Like, to me, that's what it feels like, honestly. And then Balu saying adds in Chenko as well. And then Spurs fan John is here saying morning. It's interesting that Nunes, who caused great problems on the cup game with his pace on the wing, stayed on the bench. Yeah, I think it was a first team thing. And then, you know, Pep doesn't play the same first 11 ever, generally. And then James Love Spurs is here saying big up all. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely big up to you, James. And then Shepta saying, hope you're all well, enjoying the weekend after that unbelievable performance yesterday. Where did that Spurs team come from? Well, they were always there. I mean, think about it. We beaten Villa, we beat United, we beat City, all the big teams we beat. And then Phil is saying, is anyone still buzzing? I am still buzzing. Like, honestly, to sit in this chair is hard. Like, I've just been out of my seat, excited, you know? And then everyone's and Ed M is here saying good morning, all you beautiful people. Guys. Yeah, absolutely. Roman Son is here saying yesterday, I think Poro and Udogi didn't invert too much. Actually, I did think there were moments when they did and moments when they didn't. Niall saying, good morning, Ash, Jang, Jose. Sorry I'm late. You're never late. Whenever you arrive, it's just on time. And then Dikaru saying, I bet Jimbo's in a good mood this morning. Haha, naughty boy Dikaru. And I think we all are. Yeah, we all are. Definitely we all are. And then Niall's reminding everyone, like a good person, to like, subscribe, and share. What a result. Beat the kids and Spurs men's team. You love to see it. Yeah, we beat the kids, we beat the first team, we beat the second team, we beat every team that City put out. And then Niall saying, love the mask, Chang. Are you in a dentist or A&E, mate? All we are missing is consistency. Absolutely. Someday we'll get there. I really hope we do get there. But if you that's if you build on what you've already made. Like if you don't have something to work with, you have nothing to get to. So you throw the baby out with the bathwater, and then nothing gets achieved. Okay, midfield. So what did you think, um like of Sar and Bisuma's performance? So first of all, I'll come to Bisuma. 20 seconds in, gets a yellow card. Chang, I'll go to you first. 22nd in, he gets the yellow card. What did you think about his performance?
Well, I can only speak of the second half, or the brief second half that I saw him in, because I missed the entirety of the first half. But yes, I did take note of the yellow card when I saw it on the summary, the statistics of the first half that also showed Madison's 2 goals, and I was thinking he's going to be walking a tightrope. He's going to be so guarded. He's going to be very reserved. He might not even get stuck in for the challenges, and that might hinder his performance. But thankfully, he didn't pick up that second yellow. And not only that, he actually imposed himself, I thought, amongst those centre midfielders, and he was, you could say that he was doing exactly what Højbjerg did for us whenever he played a DM for us. So in that regard, I think Bissouma is up there with one of the top performers from the City game. And I again just like Vicario, just like Madison, consistency. If players like Bissouma and Vicario and Madison can put in the same levels of consistency the way we are seeing now with Kulusevski, I don't see why we should be comfortably in top 4, let alone challenging for top 3 or even top 2. And the Premier League table, the points that we've accrued so far speaks volumes. I mean, if you were to factor in losses to Palace and to Ipswich, we should comfortably be in within top 3 or even top 4. So again, Bissouma, I really hope for more consistency for him. And yes, he still has a lot to prove, but that was a very good performance by him nonetheless. And I really do hope that he does turn up again next weekend.
So, Jose, someone said to me that actually it was a good thing that Bissouma got carded, because some of the rashness that's in his game, like sometimes, he's a really good player. We all know it's in him, but sometimes he makes the wrong decision. And someone on one of the groups was saying that actually him getting carded made him think twice a little bit and be a little bit more careful, and that actually improved his game. What do you think of that?
I'm not sure whether someone getting yellow carded is going to help their game, especially after 15 seconds. That's. I thought about it. Oh my God, I did think that at the time, and then I thought to myself, we get to half time and he'll probably throw Gray on for Bissouma just in case. But for me personally, I thought Bissouma yesterday was the best game he has played since he came to Tottenham Hotspur. I thought yesterday his all-round performance was spot on. He was buzzing around everywhere. He picked the ball up. He made tackles. He released the ball straight away. Everything was spot on with him, with the way he played yesterday. Yesterday was the Bissouma that we've been crying out for since he's come to the club. One game doesn't make it for me, though. I think Biss owes us a lot more than just one game. And if Biss
Yeah.
can, I don't want him to get any more yellow cards, but if Biss can
Yeah.
take that performance with him to further games, then it can only benefit Biss and the team itself. I think Bissouma's got to get a lot of flowers for what he did yesterday. And I hope that it doesn't get to his head and he thinks that one swallow makes a summer. I just think that he showed us yesterday what he can actually really do, but he needs to turn up and do that more often in a Tottenham shirt, especially now that Bentancur's out. Now that Bentancur's out, we need Biss to be on point more than ever. I believe there still will be rotation because Biss will absolutely be flogged if he plays every single game from now to when Benny comes back. But for me, he played yesterday absolutely brilliantly. Outstanding. It was an outstanding performance from him. It's the best performance in the Tottenham shirt. With Sarr was. I didn't know that Sarr was in the game. To be honest, Sarr did so. Sarr, silent assassin. Sarr went about his work and that without being too
Noticeable.
too noticeable. But he did the right things at the right times. He went up. He came back, and it was like a well-oiled machine yesterday. The oil was definitely in the cogs, and the wheels were all turning round correctly for Tottenham yesterday. Just that we don't see enough of it. We want more of this. Yesterday we got a glimpse of what we could be like, and I totally agree with a lot of people. It's consistency. We need to consistently put performances in. If we can consistently put performances in like we did yesterday, we are beating every team in that league. There's no shadow of a doubt. We beat every team in that league, but we need to find consistency. We have to play really well in all our games. There's something that can be said. Yeah, I mean, looking at the stats from yesterday, they had more possession than us, but not by much. But they had more possession than us. And when you look at Manchester City don't normally give up possession. Sorry. They normally have more possession than what they actually did yesterday. So yesterday's possession was 57-43. Not many teams go to the Etihad and get 43% of the possession. So although we didn't have the possession, we got more possession there than what other teams get. And then looking at it, they had 23 shots on goal, Man City, but only 5 were on target. We had 9 shots on goal, but 7 were on target. So that's big. That's big numbers. Looking at the goalkeeper saves, our goalkeeper made 5 saves to their 3. Touches in the box, Man City had 43. We only had 17. It shows how clinical we were. Clinical yesterday.
And that's what we asked our players to be, right? We were like, we needed you to be more clinical. So,
but it seems to be that look. Let's not get away from it. Tottenham are a good footballing team, right? Regardless of yesterday. Look, you can see throughout the season, footballing wise, Tottenham are a good footballing team. We play many different ways. This season we started off with possession was our main key at the start of the season, but since then we've now dropped it where we can also play out of possession and having less possession, and we did that yesterday. And our best results seem to have come when we've given up possession to other people, even at home. And
even
all of
Brentford.
Brentford,
Even like
West Ham.
Brentford and stuff.
Yeah, Brentford, West Ham. We gave up possession in these games, and all I'm going to say to you, Ash, is we've got a plus 14 goal difference. We are the top goal scorers in the league with 27 goals. We've conceded 13. There's only 3 teams that have conceded fewer than us, and 2 of them teams are still yet to play today, or 3 of them teams are still yet to play today. So listen, yesterday I've got to take yesterday's victory, and I've got to run with it, and I've got to be happy as a Tottenham supporter because these victories don't come thick and fast. They're once in a bluey at the moment, and for me, I'll take the victory yesterday and I'll move on. But yeah, as I said, to me, the masterstroke was at the start of the game, because you're asking about the midfield. The masterstroke for me was at the start of the game, and not selecting Johnson to meaning in defence we had a 4-5-1 system, and then when we broke out, we became a 4-1-5, if you like, because then we had Madders going up, Kulu going up, Solanke going up, even Sar going up as well. You know, and we attacked them at will. For me, the most complete performance Basuma's put in. Sar,
Yeah,
Sar, as
absolutely.
I said, Sar anonymous in the sense that he just went about his work and did everything right, Sar, yesterday, but he wasn't Biss, because Biss was taking risks
So
yesterday.
the only time I really noticed Sar was like the ball was pinging in the midfield, and Sar literally flew into the air to win a header and gain the back ball for us. And I was just like, how high did he jump? Like it looked like he was literally his height plus his height,
Yeah.
like double the length of his body. It was that was the only time I was like, wait, where did that come from? But yeah, I know what you mean, Jose. Wait, here we go. Shemtan is saying it shows how good we are when the wingbacks don't invert, the fullbacks don't invert. It spreads the team and allows Matters a lot more space to work his magic. Yeah, absolutely. Dekar is saying we know we can play. Yeah, now we need the consistency. Absolutely. Yeah. And Niall saying I feel that win. I'm happy for him. It's like the Ange of Celtic, that performance when he had Kyōgō, Rio, Hatate, Dejan, Maeda, Iwata, who's now at Birmingham City. Destiny 5 is here saying Madison coming deep to. What's that crackling noise? Madison coming. Oh, it's Jan. Oh, well, Jan, tell us what you're having.
Crackling.
It's actually the keyboard, which I'm typing a private message, but
Oh, I thought you were
apologies.
eating
Please do go on.
something. Destiny saying Madison coming deep to collect the ball, showing composure, moving us up the pitch with style. My God, yeah, absolutely. And then another thing, I can see Japanese players, Ange left at Celtic, ending up in England, Kyōgō, Hatate, Maeda, etc. Yeah, I can see it. And then Kate saying Bissouma was excellent. The yellow card didn't stop him playing his game, which showed immense maturity and self-control. And then everyone's talking to each other. Leslie saying Bissouma lacks consistency. Let's hope he can keep it up. Absolutely, I really hope he can keep it up. And then Leslie saying he owed us that performance after Balloon Gate. Oh, Balloon Gate. Yes, absolutely. And then Balu's just saying Sar and Biss. So yeah, Sar and Biss is absolutely right. You know, when they play together, it's just something strangely lovely about that. I just feel like they complement each other so well, Sar and Biss. Like, 'cause Sar is that engine, that little engine that could, and Bissuba is just like, the big brother who's just like doing all the fancy work. And I just feel like they're just a really good complement to each other. Um, and I was saying, I think he's coming good, Bissouma, because of how good Ange is as a coach. And then, yeah, some people might not agree with you. Ben is here saying, morning, everyone. Morning to you, Ben. And then Dekaru's here saying, I like Sar, who said the Davies calms the team down. We need players like that. Teams of superstars often don't work. You need hard workers. You know, it's really important for us, especially because we're not the team. Like, when people say, let's get a CDM, someone like Rodri. The truth is we can probably get a good player, but maybe we can't get the player at the level of Rodri, right? So in that sense, it really helps to have a system, because in a system, everybody looks slightly better than they are. Like in a system, even Musa Sissoko looks good, So it just really helps to have that. Like, not that I'm saying individual ability doesn't matter at all, but it does help. And then Vindaloo's just saying bye. Everyone's saying bye to Kate. Marcos is here saying bring back Brian Hill. What a great season he's having in Spain. Marcos, sadly, I think he'd have the Matters problem. The reason I thought Matters was really good yesterday is because he showed physicality. He was putting in the defensive work. He was doing the tackles. Because we all know that he's a brilliant passer and he's a brilliant creative player and he's a great runner. He can, as a midfielder, he rushed towards, like, the second goal, I think, was a perfect example of that, making a really good run. First goal as well, actually. So both those goals were a good example of him making those runs. But the problem he has is without the ball, if he doesn't offer enough, sometimes the balance of the team is affected. And yesterday, he proved to us that he has the ability to also be a physical player, to dominate the midfield, to win his tackles, to win the second ball. And that to me was what made James Madison amazing, because we already know he had the skills on the ball. uh, and then Romanson is saying Gil Mesu is only made for Spanish league. I don't say he was still young. He maybe would have improved his physicality and made something of himself here. But I'm happy he's doing well wherever he is. I always want our players to do well wherever they go in the future. Okay, coming to my favorite Spurs player currently, Dejan Kulusevski. This guy deserves if I could write like the number of compliments I could give to this boy. I just love him to death. This is a person who knows how to do everything in the game. He knows how to track back and defend. He has an amazing work rate. He's an amazing crosser. Like, did you see that cross in for the first goal? What a great! And he has like the most number of crosses in Europe. In Europe, not in the Premier League. That is mad. So he's a good passer of the ball. He's good at crossing it into the box. He's good at holding up play. He's good at like, just apart from maybe improving his scoring ability, he's literally good at every aspect of the game. He is amazing. And you're very rarely going to find a player who can do so many things well. Chang, what did you think of Kulu?
I know this is only November. We are only 12 games into the new Premier League season, but I think it's going to be without a shadow of a doubt that Kulusevski will end up being our player of the season. Just the first 12 matches alone, how he's been able to put in the level of consistency no other Spurs player has been able to do. That in itself is really deserved of the award of player of the season. But yeah, I mean, this is, I think, down to him, and also quite possibly down to Ange. You could almost say that it's a reinvention, a sort of reimagining of Kulu and what he really has in his locker when deployed, or rather when he's playing to his strengths. And yeah, I think this is something that is going to be something that not only him but most other players too as well. The Vicarios, the Bisumas, the Pepe Matasars, even the James Madisons in our team, that if they can just do even half of what Kulusevski is doing right now, we will be a team to be reckoned with. And I really do hope, fingers crossed, I really do keep his fingers crossed and touch on wood that Kulusevski remains injury and suspension free for us for the remainder of the season, because I think he will be hands down our single most important player of this season. Son can have an off day, Solanke can have an off day, even Madison or Romero or even Vicario, all of them can have an off day. The moment Kulusevski has an off day, we will be in deep trouble. So yeah, I really do hope that Big Ange and our coaching staff take really good care of Kulusevski, because we are going to have to call upon him and his brilliance a lot more often before the end of the season. Back to you, Miss Ash.
So Jose, I'm just gonna put this question to you because it's connected to what we're speaking about, so it doesn't make sense to come back to it later. Rinketik is saying Madders got better stats than Kulu. Why is Dejan more important? And before you say anything, I will just say that I don't think there's anyone who's more important or less important. It's a team game. If we have two players doing well, that to me is amazing. That's great. But Jose, you want to take that?
Right, so Kulusevski It's the work ethic. It's the amount of energy that he brings to the team. And that's why he looks, without the goals and assists, that's why Kulu looks better than Madison, if you don't look at the stats for the test of the eye view. The way that Ange Postecoglou switched his team up yesterday, and we'll repeat this over and over again, the way he changed his team yesterday by dropping Johnson, he was only able to do that yesterday because he played Kulu out in that role. And as I said, I think he did that because he wanted to be defensively solid against, or as defensively solid as you can be against Man City at the Etihad. So we would drop into a 4-5-1 shape. Now, Madison plays in one position. The reason why Madison was dropped a few games ago is because although Madison and Kulu were playing as the two attacking midfielders, and we did well earlier on with them this season, there became games where we got found out where the ball was being played in behind Madison because there was a big hole between Madison and the defence. So that's why Madison, there's no doubt that Madison's a good footballer. There's no doubt about it at all. But the person that's been carrying, or the person that's shone a light for Tottenham so far this season, as Ash has alluded to, and Chang has alluded to, and everybody in the chat, you must be watching Tottenham by now. It has been Kulusevski. Now, I will say that Kulusevski last year carried Tottenham all the way through to January with all our injuries and everything, and he became the battering ram. He was the person that took all the hits. He was the person that would hold the ball up because we had no one else to do it because Richie was in and out of injuries. So he was the person, and he was our battering ram. But in the second half of the season, he pwned out. He nosedived in the second half of the season. But I think he carried Tottenham for the first half of the season last year. And obviously, we didn't have the rotation that we've got this year, and he ended up paying the price for it. Yes, playing in the position that he plays at the moment, he's not the battering ram because he's playing in the attacking midfield role, where he's not the battering ram that he was last season. And with that, and managing his minutes more, and rotating him and that, even though he's a young man, rotating him and that will help us out in the second half of the season. But Kulu is an important player, and Kulu will probably be one of the first names on the team sheet at every Tottenham game, other than when you want to rest him.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
agree. And for me, one other thing about Kulu that I really appreciate, and this is not something other players can help really, but it really matters, is that he's almost always available for selection. So not only is he an amazing player, he's also and consistent in that sense. He's also always available for selection, and no matter what you say, the best ability is availability. If Matters can be amazing, but if he's injured for half a season, and if Van de Ven is amazing, but he's injured for like half a season, sometimes it makes no difference that they're amazing because they're not playing. So I do think that that also makes a huge difference
and
for
the other
me.
thing, and the other thing as well, Ash, is that with Madison, it's not Ange having a point of proof. It's
Yeah,
Madison has a point to prove. If you are not playing well, then the manager has every right to substitute you, to put you
yeah,
on the bench for the start of the game. He sees what happens on the training pitch. He sees what happens on the in game time. And if Madison's not been at it, then the manager reserves the right. Now, everyone can't be wrong with Madders because he's not getting selected for the England squad either. So,
yeah,
what is there a vendetta against him? No, it's you've got to play and you've got to be on form. I want Madison. We want Madison to be on top form for us, and we hope that yesterday is the kick up the backside that he needed. I mean, without knowing what Ange was going to do before the game on dropping Johnson, yesterday's team would have been the same, but Johnson would have been in and Madison would have been out. So you would have played with um, Kulu, Sarr, and Biss in midfield. But he took out Johnson because of the defensive attributes, put Kulu out there, brought Madison in. It worked a treat, and Madison played really well. But we need, like we said about Basuma earlier, we need that consistency from Basuma to play at top level. We also need Madison to do that. If our players all do that, then if our players can produce an 8 out of 10 every week, like Man City's players have been doing for a number of years, then Tottenham won't be far away from doing things. And that includes
Yeah.
Maddison.
Yeah, absolutely. Dick, I was saying Madison switched on yesterday when Decky floated that first goal in. Madison timing was spot on. He was so composed for the second goal too. My God, like to me, the second goal was even more impressive because Edison he made the decision to come out, and then it was like half chip over Edison. And so like in the small amount of reaction time you have to make that decision, he could have headed the ball straight into Edison's arms, but like he managed to just get it over the keeper and into the goal. And I thought it was such a great like piece of decision making from him, quick time. Like just I'm so impressed. I was so impressed with the second goal. And then first as well. Dekaru is saying if I could swap the third and fourth characters in my name, I'd be Dekiaru. Doesn't make sense, but I take it. I'm just gonna call you that from now on. And then Romance on is saying if Kulusevski wants to shine like Kane and Son by fan or non-fans, he needs to perform consistently in every big game. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's true for any player. And as he's saying, bench Romero for Fulham. I do think he's been one of our more consistent players this season, Kulu. But I know what you're saying. Romance on thing. I mean, appreciated by fans and non-fans. Yeah. Marcos is saying Kulu needs to be consistent week in, week out. Sometimes he disappears either first or second half.
And
Yeah,
Marcos goes to Marcos season ticket holder. He's in the West Stand. He goes all the time, so he sees him all the time.
Yeah. Destiny saying Kulu works hard every week. Madison goes missing a lot. Yeah, we have a bunch of these missing and not missing players. Was yesterday's result ever in doubt? Come on, you Spurs.
Good morning, Sir Rob.
And then Roman Son saying first Conte season, Kulu was so amazing to watch. Yeah, that's true. But I actually like him to watch, like just as a watch. I like him in the midfield even more. Uh, uh, but Dekaru saying when we have those games where the players switch off, Kulu doesn't switch off. He's been working so hard. He deserves respect for that. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I admit I'm biased, but I do agree with that. Destiny is saying, gotta shoot. Have a good Sunday to you, Destiny. And then Roman Son saying, yes, I saw some glimpses of Kulu in RWF as he was in Conte's first season. I missed that Kulu. That's absolutely, there were times in the game when he was literally being doubled up on by the City players. Like there was always a man on him. But, like his holding ability is so amazing that he managed to either take on his man or put the cross in despite Guardiola's presence. I appreciated that so much, the fact that he was constantly being marked and he still managed to be the most effective winger we had. And then when Kennick is saying, sorry if I sound negative, but Jose, this is the second good playmaker who's benched by Ange because they ain't given enough space.
Sorry, can I just come back on that, Rinketic? You're not sounding negative at all, mate. But a good player will always find space. Regardless, in a congested field, a good player always finds space and finds time. Yes, agreed with, there are certain parts of the way that we attack. Sometimes the space is given up by us playing in some of the styles that we play. But a good player or a great player would always find space. There's somewhere in the pitch they'll find space. Yesterday, Maddison found space by dropping deep. Apart from the 2 goals where he was right up the top of the pitch, there were so many times in the game that he dropped deep to pick the ball up. He was playing, it was him and Ben Davis playing triangles with the goalkeeper on the left-hand side, trying to break Man City's press when Man City were pressing us. So, a good player will always find space. But I do partly agree with some of what you say, Rinketic.
Yeah, I agree with part of what he's saying as well. Like, I do think that sometimes players just need to cook, and you have to give them the ability and the platform to do that. And then Roman Son saying Johnson doesn't offer much, just tap in runs.
I'll take the tap-ins all the time because a goal is a goal.
Yeah, like
I'll take it.
But I do think that he makes a great, like, to bring on the speed of Johnson and Werner. I don't rate Werner, but like I appreciated the fact that both those subs, the speed of both of them together, and then Werner crossing it in and Johnson finishing it off. Like, to me, that's like the perfect pairing for a super sub double time.
I said,
Like,
yeah, I said yesterday on another show after the game. In a straight line, there's not many people that can keep up with Werner in a straight line. The only
yeah.
person that can outdo Werner in a straight line and in circles, zigzags, squares, and triangles is Mickey van der Ven. But he's cheat code for football. But Werner in a straight line, yeah, there's not many people that are going to beat Werner in a straight line.
Yeah. And then Descartes was saying, and just using Kulu in a different way. And since the change, that's when we started getting bigger wins and smaller losses when we lose. Yeah, the fact that our goal, like we have the highest goal difference in the league, that just proves it. When we lose, we're hard to beat. We lose, but we lose by small margins. And when we win really, really big. I feel like my light is going there. Bill saying great win for us, but we have to realize that Man City are not playing well at all. You know
But
what?
Sorry, Bill, can I just, I know, Bill, at the end of the day, I said it earlier, mate, Man City have been beating teams this season. Man City have been playing to whatever level they've been playing this season, and no one ever said a bloody word. And now that we go and beat them 4-0, people are like, well, Man City. Listen, Man City have got the best squad in the Premiership and probably the best squad in Europe, right? They can handle injuries. We've gone out in 3 weeks, Bill, and we have beaten their A, B, and C teams. So at the end of the day, whatever's been put in front of us, we've dealt with. Let's take yesterday's victory and let's run with it, Bill. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, people forget. They be like, "Oh, Man City is on a has had 5 losses in a row." People forget that 2 of those losses were to us. So really, if we're counting it as 5 losses in a row, it's because 2 of those times we were just too better than Man City were. And no matter what you say, Man City are above us on the table. So. Um, Anyway, I understand that Chang has to go because he has commitments to put his baby daughters to bed. So Chang, hope you have a great Sunday. Tell us where you can find you before you leave.
Okay, so I will be back on again in exactly 24 hours time at noon tomorrow on the perfect match with Miss Kate and Mr. Boxell, and very possibly Mr. Collison Wright as well. And hopefully, if everything goes well, I might even make another late appearance on Sky Sports' Premier League fan zone, either tonight.
Yay!
I'm not sure. I mean, don't get your hopes up. I was able to do a quick spot on Premier League fan zone on Friday morning because it was a 4:30 p.m. UK time show, so I was able to appear just midnight on Friday. If all goes well, I might appear again later on tonight or even tomorrow night. But I'm not exactly looking forward to it because the narrative for the show would be more of, oh, City were poor, Spurs got lucky, yada yada yada. I cannot wait to get back on Premier League fan zone and just challenge Clinton Morrison to the stats that not only did we keep a clean sheet, we scored 4. And I'm going to leave by saying that this is actually the first time that Spurs have actually beaten both Manchester teams away in the modern Premier League era. No other Spurs manager in the modern Premier League era has ever beaten both the Manchester teams away on our travels. So big up Big Ange. Keep the faith in him and come on, you Spurs. You were saying, Sino Garcia?
Yeah, can I just remind you, Chang, that Clinton Morrison is a Tottenham supporter. Although he didn't play for Tottenham, he supported Tottenham as a child, and he says it openly that he is a Tottenham supporter. So well, you might be all right.
Well, the feeling that I got from him on a Friday evening when I was the last guest right at the very end before I was abruptly cut off because of our running time, he was saying, why are Spurs always being so Spursy when we are playing teams that don't win or find it difficult to win on their travels, and why are we turning up against the big teams but we're finding it difficult to put in a performance against the so-called weaker teams or the teams in the lower half of the table. Well, I think this is all about mentality, or it could even be down to the team that wants it more. I really do hope that when we go up against, I think it's Fulham. I think we have Fulham up next, right? Yeah, we have Fulham up next at Craven Cottage. So next weekend is going to be all important. Yesterday's match is over. It's just one game. It's just one win. It's just 3 points. We even have Roma to look forward to in midweek. But let's all pray for consistency, everybody. Thank you again so very, very much for having me, Senor Garcia, to stand in for the unwell Queen Ellie. And as always to you as well, Miss Ash Petmaraj. Thank you for being such
It was
a
Ash's
wonderful
show.
host.
It's not mine. It's Ash's show. It's Ash that had you today. She's had you and me. It's Ash's show.
So, which is why I was saying, thank you so very much for being such a stupendous host, Miss Ash. If you ever do need me again, any time of the day, any day as well, feel free to drop me a line. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody, and come on, you Spurs. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks, Chang.
Chang. Come on, you Spurs. And everybody else, please don't leave. Only Chang is leaving. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the comments. All we need to do is close Kulu, then we can use one as Ange is using him now and move the other into his old, more attacking role. Clone Kulu. Yeah, listen, scientists, if there are scientists in the chat, get working on that. I mean, I don't know how you'll get Kulu's DNA, and I don't want to know if that's ethical to get it in weird ways, but bribe the lunch lady, get his DNA, get this going. I want to see 2 Kulus on that pitch. It's like that. That experiment that we used to do a couple of years ago, which is how many Harry Kanes can you fit into a Spurs side? Like, I don't know if Jose, you're familiar with this game Spurs fans used to play.
How many what?
How many Harry Kanes can you fit into one Spurs 11? Because Harry Kane could defend, and Harry Kane could be in the midfield, and Harry Kane could be in attack.
Yeah.
I had one friend who had like 7 Harry Kanes on his team. So
7 Harry.
anyway, Dekaru saying Warner absolutely toasted Walker. I think Walker's getting a little slow. I think without his speed, he looks like a different player. Still call saying how fast is Warner? He skinned the hell out of old man Walker. Yeah, he really did skin him. He was like Turbo Timo. Rick Kenny saying Matt O'Reilly fell out hard with Ange because he was not given enough space at Celtic, and I'm low-key worried about Madder's 2.0 situation. I don't think that will happen. Like, I genuinely believe that Madder's, he has a certain sense of flair and a certain sort of attitude, but I actually don't think he's a confrontational person. Like, I really don't think that if he had a problem, he'd just, burn the house down. I feel like he would quietly move on to another team or do something like that. And then Bill Blythe is saying lost their last 5 games. Yeah, Riketic, it's not over. Stay. And then Wayne saying, didn't their losing streak start against us in the League Cup? Absolutely, it did. And then Bill saying, I think City have got a few older players that really end of their career. We're up for it. Yeah, they do need to refresh their team. Their team is starting to look a little old. Still call saying they had, but on the other hand, they have Gavino and Foden. Foden's supposed to be the best young player ever, and they have a bunch of really, Haaland is really young. There are a lot of young players in their team as well who are really good. Still call saying they had most of their senior players in the pitch. It's not that they were poor. Spurs give City the toughest game. We're also their bogey team. We do it every year to them. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Stronger teams will attack us and then open up chances. Weaker teams sit back and we have more to create more chances. We're still weak in that respect. Yeah. I absolutely agree. Johnny saying great show, Ash. It's not over. There's one player left. James loves Spurs saying smash the likes. Yeah, everyone smash them likes. Oh, right. Thanks, Viketic. And then Jose, we have talked about everyone, I think, on the team except for Sun and Solanke. So which one do you want to take?
Solanke.
Let's go. Let's do the Solanke.
Right. So I said Solanke. So yesterday on the pre-pump-up show again, I said that the most important player on the pitch for us would have been Solanke before the game started, because your press and your defence starts with Big Bad Dom. And Dom, I said that Dom Solanke would he would scare the life out of the Manchester City defenders, because he can bounce off defenders, he can hold defenders off. You can fire the ball at Dominic Solanke, whether it's in the chest high, hip high, thigh high, shin high, on the floor. The ball sticks to Dominic Solanke, and he can knock defenders out of the way, and he can hold the ball up, and he can, set play up for us. So I felt that Solanke would be important. I totally agree with a lot of people. A lot of people will say doesn't score enough goals, but Tottenham in the league scored 27 goals. They scored the most goals in the league, so it doesn't matter where the goals come from. Of course, you want your striker to score goals, and he will. The goals will come, but his team play is absolutely second to none. And I felt that he was absolutely important yesterday. And for the third goal, it was a pass that was made into the box. Solanke then had to go. I think it's Coolidge put it right across the box. It's gone out on an angle to go. It's going off for a goal kick. He's gone. He's run, kept the ball in play, looked up, laid it back to Porro, 3-0. So Solanke is absolutely important, and he runs defenders ragged because he makes runs as well to take defenders away. He's an absolutely important player and a vital cog for our team. God, it makes a difference when you've got a player that can hold the ball up and where you don't lose possession. So with Richie last season, we pumped the ball up to Richie. It'd come off his chest, come off his thigh, and he couldn't trap a bag of cement, and we'd lose possession. With Solanke, we've got a chance of keeping that possession, whether we're attacking or whether we're trying to defend and get him to hold the ball up. We keep possession better because of the fact that we've got Dom Solanke.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And Dekaro's saying something similar. He's saying that third goal, you could see the moment Solanke looked up and it was always going to be a goal. That layoff to Porro, you could see it coming. Yeah, honestly, they're not the same type of player. But, in terms of role, he reminds me of Firmino at Liverpool, where Salah and who was the left winger they had? I forget.
Firmino, Sane,
Mane.
Sadio Mane, yeah.
Yeah. So like when Salah and Mane were getting all of the goals, Firmino was not scoring. He would have like 5 or 6 goals in the season, but like Liverpool won a title off of that simply because because of the hard work that Firmino was doing for the team and all of the team play that he was doing. That allowed the freedom for Salah and Mane to just run riot in the opposition's box, and they're not the same type of player, Firmino and Solanke, but in terms of role, they play the same sort of role where they're just a team player and he drags off defenders, he holds up the ball, he's like a general menace in the box. It's just amazing. It's amazing to watch that. If we had to replace, sometimes strikers, when they're not scoring, they look like they're disappeared from the game, right? And this happens to the best of strikers. It happens to Erling Haaland. Like yesterday, where was Erling Haaland, right? So when they're not scoring, they look absent. And this used to be a criticism we used to levy at Harry Kane, and so he changed his game and he learned to be present and accounted for even when he wasn't scoring or assisting. And I think that Dominic Solanke has that quality as well. Whether he scores or he doesn't, he's always contributing to the team. And I think that's really precious. That's a quality worth having. So side answers here saying, I think our counter attack is one of the best in the league. I don't think so. I do agree our counter attack is one of the best in the league, but I also think that not all of the goals were counter attacking goals per se. Like there was like that second goal, for example, they were back, they were in their box, Sunny was playing through traffic when he made that pass to Madders. So I don't think that it was all counter-attack. So I do think, yes, our counter-attack is one of the best in the league, but I think that we're more than just counter-attacking team like we were under Conte. And then Inner Hype saying Matt did fall out with Ange. Good to know. We read this. And then Matt was disappointed. Ange joined Spurs. Yeah, well, I'm sure all the Celtic fans, when players were disappointed, just imagine Dom in front too. You know, somebody suggested this to me, but like I do feel like we'd need that width from the wingers, because the wingers, they hug the touchline and cross it in. So I don't know if a front two would work for us, but still saying Richie first touch is horrendous, Slanky first touch is good. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. In a Hype is saying, I'm just loving to see you happy. Yeah, you and me both, In a Hype. I could not have taken one more week of moaning and grumbling on YouTube and everybody owning each other and the constant debates. And I just wanted to be happy, you know. I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who the players are on the pitch. I just want to win, and I want to see good football, and I want to celebrate with my team and with my friends and have a beer and talk about how awesome the game was. That's all I want. And Rinketik's also saying, I think the second one was more
Transition.
transition one, right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's nice to actually be talking about the football. Yeah, absolutely. So coming to the last player, Sunny. Now Sunny, I thought like he got 2 goals during the international break. He looked slightly more on it. I thought he looked more present. He looked more active. He looked slightly fitter. Jose, what did you make of Sunny's performance? I don't think he was back to his best, but I did think he was good.
There was a role that he had to play. The reason why they dropped Johnson was because we had to do a 4-5-1. We had to play a different way yesterday, and you know, this is all about adaptation. And Sonny played his part. Sonny played his part on the left-hand side, and Sonny had to come and defend. He did, and when he had to attack, he did. You know, at the end of the day, it was what Ange set out to be. Attacking, we could go into a 4-4-2-2-1, 4-3-3, but it all came out of a 4-5-1 system because defensive-wise, Sonny and Kulu made that 5 compact across. So, you know, at the end of the day, Sonny did his job. Sonny did well. It was a team effort yesterday. It wasn't about one player. It was a team effort. We had to do lots of different facets of the game right yesterday against a high quality team, right? Because they are high quality and they test you in phases and areas that you probably don't get tested like no other team. Because Man City have been on point with everything they do for years and years. So, you know, yesterday Sonny wasn't electrifying, but he played his part in a team victory yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Side Answer saying, if Liverpool win today and next week against Man City, the league is nearly done. Hey, it's the Premier League. Don't speak too soon, my friends. Spurs fans know this well. Amin is saying, I predicted a 2-2 draw, and we're capable of beating top teams like today's Tashkent Man City. Spurs fans wild. We're equally capable of losing to Fulham next week, typical Spursy. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Bill saying, I hope this form carries on against Liverpool. I'm guessing you're talking about City. Hype saying, too right, Dekaru. Players have given everything in games and not always been lucky. Fantastic assist by Son. Oh my God, that curling shot. Edison, I feel like if without Edison, there would have been 5-0. That curling shot was so close to being an absolute screamer of a goal. He contributed well, not vintage Son, but okay. Yeah, I when he hit that, I was like, this is going in. I was so surprised it got stopped. I might start becoming a flip-flop fan and only go hardcore if it's my own team. You know, Rinketik, I am Indian. We live in the monsoon. We wear flip-flops for half the year. Flip-flops are great. They are a hardy, sturdy shoe, and they make like hardy, sturdy sandal, and they make they're waterproof, they're really sensible, and they're really, really cheap. All things that Daniel Levy likes. hardworking, cheap, hardy players. So you know what? Being a flip flop is great. You should try it sometime. Don't knock flip flops. Um, and then saying I will only be excited if we win 5 games in a row. Sure, fine. That's great. I'm excited after every win, and I'm disappointed after every defeat. But that's just me. Mm, uh, Comes with being an emotional person, I suppose. And then Anthony saying, big up, Jose. Congratulations on your win against City. Yeah, big up to you, Anthony. And then Sun could have trademark goal. Edison stretch out to save him. That curling shot. Yeah, he's just a different beast against City, isn't he, Sun? Playing Kulo on the right was the right choice. Nothing against Johnson, but he can defend. Yeah, I agree. And got the team sheet 100% right. Okay, so we're basically flip-flops equal to thongs. That's at the end is that S at the end is very important. Yes, the S is very important. And then question, Anthony's asking, where did Tottenham get that fight and passion from to overturn City? Jose?
It was the team selection. The team selection in dropping Johnson and going to a 4-5-1 defensively, and also having all the legs in the world. Because Anthony, they didn't have legs in their midfield, and I called this before the game with Rico Lewis and Gundogan. To me, they had no legs in the midfield, and we had more energy and more legs than them. And we pressed, and we played bravely. We played absolutely risk football. We risked a lot of things yesterday, and it paid off. And everyone to a man, all the players, whether they started the starting 11, or the subs that came on, everyone played a part. It was a total team game. It wasn't the one player dominated more than another player. It was just a total team effort, and that's what got us across the line yesterday, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. 100% agree with that, Jose. It was such this is what I like about playing in systems. Like I said, right? The fact that in a system, it's always about the team. It's never about one player. You're never the Rodri team or the Harry Kane team or anything like that, right? Notice the little dig at City because of all their injuries that they lost. But Nigel's here saying, sorry guys, late to the party. Come on, you Spurs, what a win. Yeah, oh my God, what a win. Yeah, I hope you start watching Spurs for the enjoyment again, Rinketic. The Karu saying City fans must hate us. I bet their hearts sink every time this. There was this really funny meme of when we got City in the cup. There was literally like Spurs fans going, "Oh no, City! Oh no, City!" and the City fans going, "Oh no, Spurs! Oh no, Spurs!" And it was really funny for both sets of fans to have the same reaction to that game. I thought that was hilarious, but it is the deck he had. So we I now take some confidence into those City games. It's the Hurricane team. You said it first. I still call saying I have some City fans in my job. City are all used to losing to us. Yeah, I think at this point it's kind of like us going to Chelsea. Like when I go to Stamford Bridge, even when I have faith in the team and we're doing well, like if we're flying high, we still do pretty well. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. We have finished with all the players. We have given everybody their flowers. Lastly, Jose, what's up next for this channel? Real quick.
It's my daughter's 18th birthday's tomorrow, so my twins are going to be
Happy
18.
birthday.
So tomorrow I will not be streaming at all. I will be going out for a meal with the whole family, boyfriends, girlfriends, all sorts tomorrow. And I will probably be back either Wednesday or Thursday with the results show. And what I intend to do today is from this show, I'm going to send everyone over to Kate's show. We're going to do a raid to Kate's show. It's the first time I've ever done it, so I'm going to see if it works. And if it works and you go to Kate's, can you just hashtag LTEL raid, please?
Yes, LTEL raid, everyone. And everyone, don't forget, if you've watched women's football, remember to tune into my channel also. It's called All About the WSL. Subscribe, like, do all the good things. The links in the box. Here, this is it. That brings us to the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, because Spurs won, and that's amazing.
Sub to
Come on.
Ash at this channel. Sub to her.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone. I will see you next
Sunday.
Next Sunday, yes. Hopefully
Come on, you
winning.
Spurs, in the big Ange, I trust.